Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com. Check out the completed flip through of my art journal. All right, this is my art journal and it is pretty much complete. I am super excited to share a flip through with you. This has just been a journal where I've had fun. I've experimented with different techniques. I haven't really worried about the final product and creating some sort of cohesive thing. I've just let it go and had fun kind of expanding my creativity. It took me, I think, 2 years to fill this whole art journal. This is the Dilutions art journal. I have very much enjoyed it. This is the second Dilutions art journal that I've used, and I'm a big fan of their art journals and how it kind of works for me. So if you would like to see a flip through of my completed art journal, stay tuned. All right, so for many of these pages, I do have art journal process videos on my channel. You can find them in a playlist, but I thought we would just kind of go through and see some of the different techniques that I used. I went through a whole phase where I very much enjoyed taping off and kind of matting the piece on the page. This is an example of that. I also very much am digging the texture paste on this particular page. I love collage. You're going to see a lot of collage throughout. For example, this is collage, some different collage pieces from Jane Davenport. Torn. All of these were torn pieces. That is so fun, like different scraps. It's nice to see some of these I haven't seen in a really long time. This is another really simple one, collage pieces. These are cut out of some Rifle Paper Co. paper with some enhancements of white paint pen, simple stenciling in the background. Again, I told you all about the borders for a while. I really enjoyed that. This one I think is probably some blending, some splatter for sure, some different stencils. It was layering a lot of different stencils over here. It's all about building up layers sometimes in your art journaling. You can't take away the world's sorrow, but you can choose to live a life of joy. I love that. I love the quotes that I put sometimes, you guys. They just, words mean a lot to me. And so I like looking back. Oh my gosh, I loved this one. These are all stamps from By the Well for God. I love the metallics. I love the border with the shading. This is Distress Oxide. This was super fun. This was collage and some random collage, like random pieces that I had just left over that I was trying to use up. That is, look at that with the shading over the top of it. That's an interesting one. I don't know that this one's my favorite because I'm not sure that these match well with what's going on in here, but I think it's an interesting contrast. So that one's interesting. I love this one. Might be contending for some of my favorites. Creative Float. See, it's all about the metallics. All about the metallics. I was in all those gears. Her gears are turning. You can see the creative flow flowing. The stencil kind of blending in to the outside, so it kind of just appears. That is very cool. This girl, so I had her again. So I use stamps over and over. Here we are. This is a girl from a Jane Davenport stamp set. I just love those. I like to stamp them on an extra sheet of paper. You can see I colored it in and then I cut it out, fussy cut it out and used it on my art journal page. But you can use the same images over and over again if they're speaking to you. I think this is all mostly water. These have got to be Neocolor crayons right here, just freehand drawing. This is all done with Sharpie. And then, you're always going to end up with a few pages that stick together. Let's pull them apart very carefully. Oh my goodness, that happens sometimes. Lots of water on these pages. So the Sharpie I was very heavy handed with it. It went straight on through, if you can see that. And so I kind of had to, I already had this page. It went straight on through. I think it still looks cool. This is like a gathering of rocks, some little sketches. Love conquers. Love is patient. Love is kind. and it came through. That happens in art journaling. I love this one too. I love playing with water in here because one of the things that speaks to me about art journaling is the way I feel relaxed when I'm really into an art journal page. And something that relaxes me is watching color move on the page. So I use a lot of wet mediums, which sometimes causes this leakage. I'm never really worried about that. I'm just here for the process of it all. Oh, very abstract. This is a Dilutions stamp set. And then I pulled, these are Jane Davenport. This is a cut apart from Jane Davenport that I put together. Very high fashion. I'm digging that one too. Much softer feeling. These are pieces from 49 in Market that I was wanting to use and wanting to go with a softer palette. I love this sketchy look. So you'll see me do this a lot. I don't trust myself to draw a clean circle or even just a straight line, even with a ruler. So I will purposefully make it messy and sketchy so that I don't have to worry about the pressure of perfection. I'm finding the beauty in the still, quiet moments. And you can see there is some like leakage, or this just got here from somewhere else. Oh, collage with these stamp sets. Oh wait, this is a printable. These are printables. This is not stamps. These are all collage pieces with printables. Some stenciling around the outside. Oh, this was one of the first ones I feel like I did in this art journal. This was for my daughter. She loves elephants. I made her this little abstract elephant. Oh my goodness, I love it. Color My World. Breathe. This one was all about relaxation. So there's a ton of stenciling in the background. You can see a ton of water. It was all about just calming, seeing colors move, blending colors, just having fun with the whole process. If not me, who? If not now, when? Lots of collage going on in the background here, and then paint over the top. Oh, this one. This is from a wine bottle that my husband and I bought in Italy when we went for our 10th anniversary, and we just celebrated our 15th anniversary. I love that that's preserved in here. Follow that gaze. You can see I very much enjoy having people, specifically women, in my art journal. This was a Sleeping Beauty-esque moment. Pink then blue. It's us versus the world. Yes. Gorgeous. I just used these girls in another art journaling page. The more recent one. Love the stenciling in the background. Oh, it's fun to look through the past ones. Look at this. Oh, this is definitely up there for some of my favorites. It's fun to look at the past ones because then you get ideas of things you want to recreate. You don't have to do something brand new every time. In fact, sometimes your creativity can be really enhanced by repeating a page or repeating a journal, tweaking it ever so slightly. Abstract trees created. This was all collage in the background. Then I drew the trees and then painted in the negative space. Gorgeous. You can see I put in a lot of the ones that are my favorites. What I'm noticing is I had put a lot of emphasis on the background. Pumpkin. If it's 1,000,000 to 1, I'm going to be that one. Make time for your art. And here's one that got done upside down, which happens to me every now and then. Go where your heart takes you. Live your dream with passion. Start doing things you love with the butterfly. I accidentally opened my book upside down, and sometimes that happens. Same thing right here. Collage from a magazine. I will treat myself as God would treat me. I will allow grace to flow freely through my veins. Be you. That's a fun background that I created. Again, I think that's something I'm taking away is when there is a cool background, I am here for it. This was a cool one. So what I did was I was cleaning out my alpha stickers and taking all those sets that you know you're not going to use or that are missing a letter, and I put them all on this page. And I hope that you can see There is a ton of texture because there's all of these alpha stickers like laying on top of each other. And then I believe I did some sort of gesso over the top of them. And then I painted. This is a cool effect. Okay, that's a cool one. This is an oldie, but a goodie. Another Jane Davenport stamp. Rainbows, bright colors will always be my jam. Beautiful things are happening. Some stencil work and blending. Oh, bold. Oh, this one was all just about color. And I think this was like a repetitive motion. This was a relaxing one to do. This doesn't bother me. I know it probably bothers some of you all. For me, the art journal is way more about the process and remembering how I felt when I created those pages. More collage. See, I love the girls. This is a sewing pattern in the background, which I think is pretty cool. And then these girls are from a Simplicity calendar, actually. Not my favorite one. I like the collage, I like the boldness, and I like the stenciling. Let's see. Oh, I don't think that one. Nope, that's supposed to be like this. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Here's some pins and such. They're adding color into her hair with the rub-ons. Color outside the lines. Another collage piece. This one is almost a color study with the blue contrasting with the red hair. Oh my. Designing a life I love. This is fashion forward. This one's a lot. This one's pretty intense. For sure. We can live in a world that we design. That's from The Greatest Showman. Again, playing with texture in the background. This one I love a lot. Everyday Treasures. I just like the circles. Again, banding around the outside. Color Your World with this pink can. And then again, banding around the outside, but then I overflowed the flowers, which I thought was a pretty cool effect. I do like that banding. I think that looks good. Here's a Christmas theme one. I feel like this was from last Christmas. Christmas of 2022, perhaps. Some sparkle on those ornaments. Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we are supposed to be and embracing who we are. From Brene Brown. Yes. This one was my attempt to imitate Etta V, who is one of my very favorite artists right now. She is wonderful and inspiring. Look her up, Etta V. She's pretty amazing. Words matter, which is why you see them all over my art journal. Much more neutral palette than normal for me. Up, all the rainbow. The beauty is found when we come together. Again, the blending of the color. Look at the like layering textures. That's cool. I'm kind of here for that. Layering the different stencils together. Whispers of Spring. It is in the enchanting whispers of spring that I am reminded that despite the chaos all around, to look at the simple beauty that restores hope. Her ideas began to take flight. Oh, I did this one near the Olympics. You can't put a limit on anything. The more you dream, the further you get. Michael Phelps and the Olympic torch. I love the Olympics. If you don't know that about me, now you know. Big fan. Faster, higher, stronger. You have the medals. Oh, this one's cool. Failure I can live with, not trying is what I can't handle. Sonia Richards Ross. The laurel leaf. And then what do we have back here? Most important thing in the Olympic Games is not winning, but taking part. The essential thing in life is not conquering, but fighting well. Love. I wish this were more centered, but I freehand did those rings. It's not perfect, but that was a fun series to do. And look how I cut out the edges. That's super cool. Yes, ma'am. You shine. So fun. tons of just collage in this one. This one is the majority is collage. Choose to shine your own way. This one's beautiful with the blues and the pattern in the background. Love Never Fails. Again, just the stripy paint. You don't have to be able to paint something specific to have fun with paint in an art journal. An experiment on circles and blending. And then this one is Bloom. I'm thinking this one was Neocolor. That's my guess. New Perspective. I'm not sure what I know I freehand drew those flowers. It's a bold palette. Hidden Blooms. Oh, this was done with alcohol inks in the background. This was all about just creating a fun background. Grimm's Fairy Tale pieces back here. It does have a very fairy tale-esque feel to it. One day you will look back and see that you were blooming all along. Textures. She grew like the wildflowers, a compilation of all the places she'd been. Love it. Oh. Scattered thoughts on this one. Takes time to build castles, more fairy tales. Dynamic Force. This was interesting. So I worked on a separate sheet of paper and then I cut out these random shapes. This one probably not my favorite. I don't know about this one. I'm not sure about. Simple ones that I was showing for Patreon. Just some simple techniques of how to relax during the holiday season. Again, more relaxing techniques back here. And that is it for this art journal. I can't believe it's done. I'm so thankful for all of the time, all the creativity spent on this. I do keep my art journals because it does take me a while to work through them. You're talking a couple of years of work in this, so it's not quite the same as every little journaling project I do. These are pretty darn special to me, so I'm super thankful to have had the time to work on this. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know down below, did you spot a spread that was one that you remembered, one that you loved? Let me know down in the comment box below. I really appreciate you all hanging out with me for these art journaling videos. I know that they are not my most popular videos, but I very much enjoy creating them and spending the time creating with you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I do want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. You all are the absolute best. It's an amazing, fun community over there. I'm truly thankful for each and every person. If you want to join us, it is never too late to join in the fun, to be a part of that amazing creative community. You can find out more about Patreon and some of the different perks you receive over there using the link in the description box below. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.